on a very cold, cold Thursday morning. Wind chills now 20 below. Just not right, especially with a nice, pleasant January. This is a slap in the face. But spring is right around the corner, and as such, we have Sherri Proud here from the Coralville Parks and Recreation Department.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you for braving the cold, the wind, and the misery.
I think we're still going to have some more for the next few days, it sounds like.
Looks like it.
Tomorrow night and possibly a little bit on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, we were due. You can't really get through an Iowa winter most of the time without snow, so here we go. And
you were... we're running a spot right now for the Sunday brunch at Bunkers, and you talk about the nice views out there. I bet this weekend it'll look especially neat.
It is sparkly, just all that fresh snow. And within, I would say I think I got my first phone call yesterday that I answered at the rec center at 10:30 to ask if we got enough snow for them to sled.
Oh,
we wait until we have about 3-4 inches of snow is a good number for us to open sledding up there. So yes, so people were out enjoying it.
Good. Now I see this temperature. How cold is it right now?
Actual temperature minus 11.
Minus 11?
Yes.
Actual temperature.
That's what it says. I will counter with my phone here to see if that's.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
It says 0, feels like 13 below.
Okay. So, my first thought is, let's talk about softball.
Yeah.
In the snow. I've played it in the snow before.
Really?
It's actually pretty fun. Yes. We're thinking about summer all the time.
Right now, yes, especially.
Yes, yeah. We like to think of warm things, but really it is. February is our month for planning in Parks and Rec for all of our activities that'll be happening in the summer. And a lot of those registration starts at this time of year. So our big one that starts right now, a couple big ones I'll talk about today, is adult softball. That registration's now open, and you can organize a team. And league play is on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. You can pick a night that you'd like to play. We have men's leagues and we have co-ed leagues. So just get your coworkers together, friends, or if you don't have a team, you can also register as a free agent, which I love that you can come to town, don't know anybody, but can come in and register as a free agent, get picked up on a team. I did that back when I was in my 20s and moved to Burlington, Iowa, and I didn't know anybody, but I played softball all my life, so was able to get on a team. So those leagues are pretty much all summer long and start in about the third week of April. And team fees are $430, and then there's a non-resident fee for each non-resident player of $6. But a lot of fun, great way to enjoy your summer evenings, and the park's really a beautiful place to come out to. Bring your kids. We've got a playground there, concession stand, all kinds of beverages to purchase. So
now where exactly? Because I know there's diamonds that are kind of off the interstate there on the kind of west side of town. Then there's ones up kind of by North Liberty there. Which ones would you be playing at?
So Coralville Creekside Ballpark is the ones off of 8380 on the southeast quadrant.
That's what I meant. Yeah, that one there.
Yes.
You can see it on I-80 and 380 as you're driving by.
You can, yes. And you can play ball. We will also soon have some other different things going on. We have a kickball league that you can register for coming up here in the spring. And then, of course, that is also where Coralville Flow and Cross Trails are. So it's actually a very busy park in the summertime with people coming out.
So those trails go through the woods there, kind of by the interstate, right?
They do.
Because sometimes driving north on I-380, I look over when I get close to I-80, and I see like the bridges and walking paths, and that's kind of a cool little area back there.
It's very cool. Yes, that's our single track trail. It's called a flow trail. That was a machine built trail that we had done. I want to say we're coming up on our 5th anniversary of those trails. And we work with an organization called I-Corps to help maintain those trails along with our city staff. Our city staff built all the bridges that are in there. So it's really, really a neat place. And we have a green trail. We have a blue trail. If you're not familiar, it's just like ski trails. Green's very easy. Blue, you have a little bit more features, a little bit more challenge. And then we do have a black diamond area. I'm not very good on the Black Diamond area. I have to get off my bike. It's really steep when you go up, and you make a 90-degree turn, and every time that 90-degree turn catches me, and I have to put a foot down. So, but hey, I figure if I can do the greens and blues, that's good.
You're making the effort. That's half the battle right there.
Exactly. At least
right.
you tried the Black Diamond.
That's right. Yes. Of course, this time of year, we're also gearing up for summer camp as well as looking ahead to fall. And this is the time of year when we are starting to register and to look ahead for our before and after school programs, which we have programs at Van Allen, Wickham, Borlaug, and now at East Ridge, which is a Clear Creek Amana school. And those are submitted in March. So if people want to just write down on their calendar to look at our website at coralville.org and to look at those programs, the spots, you submit your forms in March, and then the spots are announced in April. Some of these programs have waiting lists traditionally, and some have open spots. In fact, Van Allen Elementary and East Ridge Elementary, if you're looking for a spot right now, they both have openings here this spring.
Do you have any concerns with the federal funding freeze right now as far as like funding for program? Maybe this doesn't get federal funding, but
we don't.
Do you have anything that might be affected by that?
We get a little bit nervous about trail funding, just trail construction funding. Of course, there's a lot of things outside of my department that would be affected, but for Parks and Rec, grant funds are the big thing that federal funding affects us.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, just our families. I mean, we're going to be affected by all of our families being affected. If you lose a job, then it's hard to have a child participate in some of those activities or to go swimming maybe as much as you want to and things like that. So we're always keeping an eye on that for our community. Summer camp registration for families starts March 28th. That information is also at coralville.org, and they can begin dropping off the forms and turn in that stuff. And of course, this is the time of year when we are hiring. People think they sometimes think too far down the road about getting a summer job, and I would really encourage people who are looking for summer jobs, whether it's a teenager, a college student, somebody's home for the summer and has a seasonal or a job that doesn't have a summer schedule. We're looking for all ages, all kinds of experiences. We love to help train as well. So if you're interested in working in summer camps, working as a lifeguard, teaching swimming lessons, mowing at the golf course or at our parks department. We also have a streetscape team. If you ever wonder who maintains all of the flowers and roadside areas, those are our streetscape team along Highway 6 and First Avenue. And we welcome people's applications. I talk about Coralville.org all the time. I feel like every other sentence, but that's the place to get all that information. You go over to the left side of the page and you go to job opportunities, and that's also where you can, we have our own, each department has their own news feed, news release, I guess would be a better word. And you can actually click on Notify Me and go and select those areas that you would like to get direct into your email box or text message about things coming up. So I use that function a lot to inform people about trail closures, about opening of programs, about specials that we're running, and of course weather-related updates also can come through that feed. So it's a great way to keep in touch with the different departments in the city and to know what's going on.
I know this isn't probably part of your purview, but when are the lights on the strip, on the trees, are they up a little later than normal this year?
We usually, it is my purview.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is my department that puts those all up and takes them all down. And we try to keep those up until the end of January, early February. So we got so many compliments this year about how nice it is to have the lights up, how it really warms up the business districts.
It does.
And, makes it more inviting, that we're trying to stretch that in a little bit later.
Well, when you come into work as early as I do, that whole area between Iowa City and Coralville, that's my road. There's nobody else on it. And I know it's all the trees are lit up on each side of it.
Yes.
It's kind of neat.
It's your grand entry way to work
That's
as you travel. So yeah, that's an initiative. I don't even know how many years ago that it started, but I know that I've been doing it as far as like whether a staff member way back out there doing it and now helping coordinate it for over 30 years. So
I haven't lived in Coralville in 10 years, but I do remember when I lived in Coralville and I'd come into work at night. You're right. Along the Coralville Strip, it would be lit up, and it seemed like every year it got a little further west.
Yes,
the trees that were decorated, and it was really a cool little drive. Yeah,
yeah,
so
nice.
It's been at least 10 years, but like you said, up to 30. Wow.
Yeah, I think it's just shy of 30.
Okay, well, fair enough. And I would imagine you don't want to send your crew out on a day like today.
No.
They run them every morning. We have a person who comes in at 5 and just does a quick, look to see what's going on. Do we have any, we get really nervous about ice and wind. And of course, we had a little bit of that in the last week. So we want to make sure that we're looking for those strands that have fallen off branches. Maybe a snowplow or something hit an outlet. So we want to make sure that we have all of them lit, or at least the majority. We're looking for, if you have some in a row, we might have a problem with a transformer, the connection's not right. So we're always just kind of checking those every morning. And when we get weather a little bit nicer here, we'll probably start taking them down here towards the end of February.
Okay. But they are very, very pretty.
They are, yes.
And they're understated. They're all just one color, and it just is neat.
Right. And we used to wrap up into the branches as the trees have grown. They've started to, of course, spread out over the highway, and we can't have them up over the highway. That's a DOT rule. So, we kind of fussed with that when we started to realize that we weren't going to be able to wrap them up into the branches anymore. And of course that takes more and more strands. And we actually picked up the wrapping of just the trunks when I was out at a conference in California, and they wrap the trees, the palm trees, just the trunk. And so I came back and said that I think we should just change to wrapping the trunk on the big trees. It's still going to give us lots of light. And, of course, that ambiance we're looking for.
Neat.
Yeah. Springtime's coming. And, of course, we always encourage people after the Duray show several years ago, Emerald Ash Borer, we feel like we're still behind in our residential tree planting for people to do that in their yards. So I always encourage our Coralville residents to look out. If you should have a tree in your front yard, and we highly encourage you to have at least one deciduous shade tree in your backyard. And we provide a program called Branching Out. We're waiting on some pricing that's supposed to be arriving on Monday, and then we'll have that live up on the website. But that's for Coralville residents to be able to purchase a tree, 1.5-inch caliper from a local grower who has done this program with us now for 4 years. And he sells us the trees 25 to 30% off for this program, and we just pass that savings right on through to our residents. So I'd encourage people to look for that. If you're a Coralville resident, would like to purchase a tree, they'll arrive in early May. You stop and pick it up at our Parks Department. We give you a call or send you an email when they're ready to pick up. And of course, you just then plant those and water them all summer long. And these are the same trees and the same grower that we use throughout our Parks Department, and we plant we strive to be around 200 trees a year. Some years we're a little under, some years we're up into the 250, 300 trees that we plant, and we've always been very impressed with the quality of the tree that comes to us.
Yeah, more trees the better. That's what I say.
Yeah. Some other things going on in Parks and Rec is golf. You mentioned the brunch. It continues 9 to 2 on Sundays. Very good food. My family has really enjoyed the brunch. And, of course, like you mentioned, looking out those windows out over the golf course when we've got a fresh snow is just a really nice perspective. And just really enjoyable there at the course. Lots of choices on that menu for everybody, and we serve both brunch and both breakfast and lunch, so you can make a choice. It is by the menu instead of a buffet, but that way you get a nice hot breakfast that's catered just to your needs. And you can get exactly what you want there on that menu. And then we are open 3 to 9 at Bunker's Bar and Grill, Wednesday through Saturday right now. And you can come out and try. We have Gimmy's Pizza, which is the pizza that our staff there with the food and beverage contract, they're called Beer Makers LLC, and they've developed this pizza called Gimmy's Pizza. It's very good, thin crust. And then we have great wings, burgers, chicken sandwiches, salads, all kinds of good stuff. So we're open 3 to 9 Wednesday through Saturday at Bunker's Bar and Grill at Brown Deer Golf Club. And I don't think we're going to get any February rounds in this year.
It doesn't look like
No.
it.
No, we did last year, and I'm always really excited about February rounds. But we are open in the clubhouse Monday through Friday, 8 to 2, and we do have 30% off our merchandise, excluding golf clubs right now. So if you're looking for other merchandise, stop out. And, of course, the guys just like to talk golf.
Yeah, now when it's off season, are they working in the kitchen to earn their keep then? Or
No, I keep them painting and
there you go.
We have all of that beautiful arts and craft woodwork there. So there's things to oil down, wipe down. But no, they are planning. They plan their outings. They plan all of their
busy.
activities. They're busy, and of course, Sean McCarty, our head golf pro, has played in several tournaments in Florida this winter and won the national PGA senior titles.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, very cool. So speaking of that, fabulous woodwork, arts and crafts building, beautiful banquet room, seats up to 200, 225, and we are booking now for 20. We have some openings for 25. We're booking into 26 and 27, and Friday is going to be a big. Probably engagement day. So if you know somebody who's getting engaged maybe over the weekend, let them know that they can look at browndeergolf.org and set up an appointment to come out and see the space.
That sounds good. Well, you are just a font of information today.
I
Yes.
am, yeah. I have lots. I sit and think about all the things that I want to talk about, the day before. I'm like, oh, I've got so much I can talk about. The last thing I wanted to hit, I was striving to hit every part of our department today. And we are just a really large department for the city, from parks to building maintenance to trails, wetlands, woodlands, to recreation and all of the recreation facilities and programs. Of course, Brown Deer Golf Club falls under Parks and Recreation in Coralville. And then our fourth department or division is Coralville Center for the Performing Arts. And we just came off a great first weekend of the musical Wild Party. And we have that musical running 14th, 15th, and 16th, 7:30 for the 14th and 15th, and 16th is 2 o'clock. And I want to read this description because it's kind of a fun description. A steamy prohibition tale set in 1920s Manhattan, Wild Party is a darkly brilliant musical featuring an unforgettable cast of vaudeville performers, lovers, and rogues during a jazz and gin-soaked night of decadence. I just love that sentence.
Anytime gin-soaked and decadence get put in, that's a play you want to see.
Yeah,
yes, gin-soaked, decadance, Wild Party, and Valentine's weekend. Very fun. It is for mature audiences. Leave the kids at home. Bring a date and enjoy that great musical that we've got going on at the Coralville Center for the Performing Arts. Tickets range from $18 for a student ticket, college student, high school student, all the way up to $26 for adults. And I don't think that we tout this often enough, but we give a 15% discount to U.S. military personnel
Very good.
Both present and past. So, and of course, then I already talked about summer camps, but it's time to look ahead to those theater summer camps. Footlighters Traveling Playhouse is already under registration, and this year's is The Great Zoo Escape is the new play. The School of Spies what is also returning, and The Vanishing of Jolly Roger. And these are all written locally for our young Footlighters education programs. So these are original pieces of works, and the kids get to put them on to be the first ones to get to put them on.
Very cool.
Sounds good. Well, thank you, Sherri.
Yeah, anything else?
Thank you.
Pretty much got through the whole list here.
Well, I can talk all day
You're
about
the best guest where we don't have to talk much at all.
Parks and Rec. So yes, we're working all the time to set up what we're going to be doing for the next year in terms of projects. And when I come back in March, I'll talk about some of that.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, thanks, Sherri.
Thank you. It is 8:29, the Mighty 1630.